Awesome. So welcome everyone to week 4, day 1 of GAP. Today we are going over broader impacts. Wait, am I doing this or are you doing this?
I will do this. Okay, so just for a warm up, because today we're going to do introducing you to broader impacts and starting to get in the more thinking of writing headspace. So we just want to know, what does all of your writing rituals look like right now? I think, were we going to do this as a poll? I think we were going to try to do this as a poll.
Yes. You want me to try to... Oh my god, I can create it. Okay, wait, give me 1 second. We will get
Okay,
this.
well, while Emily's doing that, I will give you the 3 questions we are going to ask, so then you can start thinking about them. But so the first question is, do you like listening to music while writing? Some people really like listening to music to have something to kind of distract them a little bit, and like background music and sounds. Some people don't. That's one of the questions. Listen as poll. But the second question will be, where do you like to work? So specifically for this, think of your writing ritual, like when you're brainstorming or you're about to draft. I know some people like to do different parts of their process in different locations. So you may have a different place that you like to work if you're writing, a different place that you would like to work if you're editing. But for right now, just answer when you're brainstorming or writing where you like to work. And then the third question we have is, when do you do your best writing? And we have a bunch of different options. I know it's kind of hard sometimes during the school year to like choose when you can do your best writing, because a lot of us have classes and that takes up a lot of our days. So when you can either answer, when do you like to do it, or when do you end up doing most of your writing? We have different times of the days, split up into different sections, and then you can just choose whatever you like. Yeah.
Almost done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it's just these 3 questions, and then we'll continue um, going through the rest of the stuff today. But yeah, if you guys also have your CVs, I would recommend pulling those out or finding them in your drive before we start today too, because we will be relying on those to start mind mapping and all those good things. Actually, your CV and your 6-word mission statement, if possible. Collect both of those.
Just curious, how many of you have your email draft set up or have sent emails? Since that's what we worked on last week. Yeah, and? Oh, is that just raising hand?
Yeah, I was just saying that I did.
Yay, that's great. Love that. It's okay if you're still finalizing them, but definitely wait, so this week we're gonna like really get into starting some of the writing for stuff, but those emails need to go out first. So whatever we do this week and in the following weeks, you can just, like focus on what we're doing right now. And know that you're gonna need to come back to these to take more time to do them. This is just because we only have these for the summer, so we just kind of have to give you all the information.
Yeah, so just as a reminder too, we're about halfway through the gap sessions that we have. And so we're going to be focusing a lot on the personal statement for the rest of the classes. So this will be the broader impacts, the intellectual merit, and then the future goals. And we'll help you mind map, storyboard, drafting everything. But once we get past the personal statement sections, we're going to talk about the research plan, but a lot of that stuff you have to be working with your PI. So majority of our time through these last 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to be focusing a lot on the personal statement. So continue to work on other things outside this class, please.
All right, I have it all set up. So sorry that took a second. But all 3 questions are here now. So it should have popped up for everyone.
I got mine. I'm going to answer it too, if I can.
Oh, wait, I can't. 'cause I made it.
So I think only you can see the answers, right, Emily?
Oh, I did not realize that. Sorry. Yes.
No, you're good.
Great. The pools are in. Actually, yeah. Let's see. Lexi, are you answering or no?
I did answer.
Yes. I got 3 answers. So for the first question, do you like listening to music while writing? We have 1 yes, 1 no, and 1 sometimes. What kind of music do you all like to listen to? Lo-fi. Hey, that's like you, Lexi.
Yeah, not when I'm writing, but when I'm studying, lo-fi beats. Yes.
Ah.
I feel old, but I still listen to Little Lo-Fi Girl on Spotify.
Oh, there you go. You got a buddy.
Yes. Nice.
So, well, where do you like to work? We have 1 coffee shop and 2 home desks. I love working at a coffee shop because also I like coffee. Um, but I also do a lot of work on the couch. Actually, I try to not do my bed, but I like the couch because I like to put my feet up. When do you do your best writing? Nobody likes the butt crack of dawn except for me, I guess. I do my writing super early in the morning. Yeah, it's a great observation, and having people around holds you accountable. So yeah, so I got 1 for second supper, 1 for dusk, and 1 for the witching hour. I'm gonna guess the witching hour is Lexi.
That's crazy. What?
Yeah. And you all have probably already heard we have the opposite schedules. She usually goes to sleep when I'm getting up. It's or for a little while it was like that. Not anymore, but it was. That was funny. Good times. All right. Well, thank you for doing our little warm up. Do you want to go to the next slide? Let's. So a couple of other things to consider as you are all like starting to develop your writing rituals more. This is something that we really emphasize, something that we really recommend getting down as you continue to work on this application. Like we said, you have some time during these meetings, but it's not enough. You have to do a lot outside of this time that we have for you. So know what works best for you and develop a writing ritual. So, things to do, your things to consider, not just when do you do your best writing, when do you do your best editing? Um, how are you managing for nearby distractions? Do you like having a beverage out? I love having a cup of coffee and maybe a glass of water. Maybe you like tea, maybe you have some hot chocolate, because why not? Um, Thinking about those. Maybe you want a snack. Are you gonna get hungry? Maybe have a snack beforehand. Or maybe you like snacking as you're writing. It serves as enough like fuel motivation. Think about your clothing. I actually kind of like being a little more professional development in my outfit because it makes me feel like in the right mindset. But maybe you like being a little bit more, comfy clothes. Um, what time block works best for you? So like, do you like 30-minute bursts? Do you want to work for an hour? Do you want to work, for 15 minutes and then like 1 minute break and then work for another 30 or something like that, right? How does that work best for you? And also, do you have different rituals? I know I had different ones depending on what time of the day it was. This might get to the point where you're going to be working on this throughout the day, every day, especially as you get closer to that deadline. This is a very serious application. So don't be surprised if you find that happening. But that's okay, just keep in mind, okay, I work best in the morning. I have my morning ritual, I have my cup of coffee, I have this, I have that. But maybe at 10 o'clock at night, maybe I don't want a cup of coffee. Maybe I should try to have a tea instead because I know I like a hot beverage. So, just trying to think about those kinds of things. But yeah. That's it. That's all on our writing rituals.
All right, so to move into more of the agenda things for today, like I said, we're going to start with the personal statement review. So again, we're going to show you the different breakdowns of the sections inside the personal statement. One of those sections is the broader impacts, which we're going to start today. So with the broader impacts, we'll give you an overview of what should be included, obviously the different pillars, but what does that look like in actual writing? Then we're going to work on mind mapping those impacts that we've just brainstormed and analyzed. And then from there, we'll go on to the deliverables for tomorrow. Pretty quick turnaround. But again, we're having our meeting tomorrow instead of the 4th because the 4th is a holiday and we're observing it. And then next time, and all the good information at the end, like always.
So just a quick review of the personal statement, which is on page 9 of the primer if you're following along in that. Lexi, do you want me to just do this one? Okay. So really quick, the personal statement, it's a what, 3 pages in length? Yeah. 3 pages in length. You're gonna do about the first half of it as your actual personal statement. So just a, background on you, really capturing the attention of the reader. You're gonna do about 3/4 of a page on the relevant background or intellectual merit. So as you know, we talked about the pillars. This is gonna be a lot of your scholarship, as well as leadership and initiative. Then we're gonna go into relevant background. That's what we're gonna focus on today. That's another 3/4 of the page. This is gonna be more of your broader impacts as well as leadership and initiative. But yeah, much stronger on your impacts here. The 4th section is gonna be future goals and action plan. This is about a page. This is outlining your educational and professional development plan. So this is like, I want to go to this grad school. Here's why. Here's what I'm gonna do there. And that's when you're really gonna talk about, your main faculty of choice and why they are a good fit for the things you want to accomplish. So yes, as I said, we're starting relevant background, which I know is the 3rd one. So it seems a little weird, but we wanted to go over this first as you are developing, finishing up your CVs and finalizing your faculty list.
Just a side note too, broader impact is, well, Emily and I think it's one of the harder ones too, because for personal statement, a lot of times you have different applications that refer to the same thing or also are just giving a general image of you. Intellectual merit's a little bit easier because while it's not exactly a list of different things that you've done, it's pretty close to your CV and it's really just fleshing things out. And future goals is really built off of your broader impacts. So just giving you all the most time for broader impacts, we thought was the best use of the gap sessions that we do have. Okay, so going off of that into broader impacts. What is broader impacts? So like Emily said, the primer, I think it starts page 10-ish for specifically broader impacts. And so there's really 4 questions that we want you to consider when you are mind mapping or just thinking about broader impacts. So they're not really questions actually, but the first one is to focus on the pillars instead of activities. So a lot of times you will be looking at your CV and kind of just regurgitate that same information, but that's not really what we want to focus on here because while the activities are important, it's really what you gained from the activity or who you impacted doing that experience. You also want to then connect to those broader impact achievements to a theme of what motivates you. So again, that reasoning, and you can use even your 6-word mission statement and why you do your work to further develop that idea. That's why I asked you all to bring that today. But yeah, so like really making sure that it aligns with your goals and what you want to do through your research. For your broader impacts, you can also include different endeavors, training, professional development you'll participate in before starting your fellowship. So if there's something that you're going to do if this next year, but you just haven't done it yet, then you can put it in. And then you can also use that as a transition to your future goals section. And then also for broader impact, you can really talk about the scope and magnitude for your broader impact and who are you reaching, how are you measuring those different things, and making sure you truly have an impact. This can be kind of difficult, similar to some of the things that we're talking about in Swiss today, of measuring that you actually had an impact can be difficult. But there's a couple different ways with surveys and all those good things. But yeah.
So now we're gonna go into a little activity. So I just put a Jamboard link in the chat. So there's gonna be two activities with this. We'll take about maybe 4 minutes on the first one, and then we'll debrief, and then we'll go on to the second one. So if you all can open that up and go to the first slide. So here, all we're gonna ask you to do is take a few minutes and add a sticky note for what might be an example of a broader impact. So preferably, these are things you've done, but if if you have an idea, just jot it down. This is meant to just be a big brain dump to help you inspire each other, give ideas, and kind of flesh out what this means for you. Um, so yeah, so let's see. I'll set a timer. Does 3 minutes sound okay? 3 minutes. Okay. So go ahead and let's see if you want to jot stuff down too. I will add a little bit as well. No wrong answers, just go for it. If you are confused on anything or you want to clarify anything, feel free to just pop it in the chat or unmute. Got 1 more minute. We can get down a few more ideas. All right, so that was just a couple of minutes. I am loving some of these ideas. So mentoring first year students, encouraging them to engage in research. Yeah, that is a huge impact. It's a great example of something that can count on this. Being a UROC writing fellow, 100%, that has a big impact on our local community. Mentoring students in a lab setting, perfect. Teaching community members about restoring native habitats as an SL from HSP. Oh, so Habitat Stewardship Project? Yes, great one. Creating outreach flyers, just in general, like that can mean a variety of things. That can be local, flyers you hang up around school for mental health to creating outreach flyers for latest regulation changes and, for educating on a certain species or whatever it is you're studying. Um, museum docent and volunteering in general. Yeah, these are all great examples of impact. So now I want to go into the next slide on the Jamboard. We're going to do the next activity. And there's definitely way more impacts out there. So, as you look at your CV, as you start reflecting, you can think about what else can be added to that list. Lexi, can you go on to the next slide, please? Thank you. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do an individual brainstorming example. So for this, what we're gonna ask you to do is have a sticky note in the middle of the page with your mission statement. So this is gonna be my example. I'm gonna walk you through it real quick. I'm gonna do mine in a little bit of a mind mapping format. So my mission statement is encourage education and appreciation for balanced ecosystems. So thinking, what are my main headers with that? Well, one of them might be building opportunities for my peers. Because I want to encourage education, right? I want to support those around me in my community. Well, with that, I organized a virtual symposium because the summer internship I was at did not have one offered for us, and most of it was remote. So I asked, what if I did it myself? And they said, sure. And so I did that, and I think I got 12 students who got to present their work at the end of the summer and add that to their CV. I have organized or helped organize various workshops with UROC. That's something, building opportunities for peers. That is a broader impact and something I can write about. I did this thing called Power, which was processing opportunities in writing, education, and research. That was my little kind of a little group I had made with the intent of being able to talk and work through feelings of, imposter syndrome, stress, and accomplishment while pursuing high stakes opportunities like we do in Europe. Another, main header I might have is just my background. First generation woman in STEM. None of my family has been in STEM. The little bit of college experience some of my family has not been at a university, has not been in STEM. So that was really important to me because it influenced what opportunities I looked for, or even part of my building power. Because I wanted a place where I could connect with others and talk through some of those challenges that my family didn't understand. And then, of course, another pretty obvious header would probably be outreach, right? Looking at education appreciation for balanced ecosystems. Well, that's all environmental work, conservation, that kind of thing. So I would do a lot of outreach with that. So such as informational flyers for new regulations. It's a little branch from there. I also went to go be a museum docent for a little while. And that I was able to tie into my background as well. Because I used my experiences um to yeah, sorry. You know, they connect. So yeah, let's see. Do you want to what time are we supposed to be at?
We're supposed to start our mind mapping stuff at like 4:30ish.
Okay, so
I think this activity is really close to what we're going to be doing to mind map. Sorry, didn't mean to like interrupt you.
no, you're good. So I say we go back to the slide, show them the example, and have them do this for like 5 minutes, and then they can like kind of go from there to do whatever they want.
Sounds
Okay. So we're gonna show you an example real quick. You wanna go back to the slide deck?
yeah. Alright. Oh, this is actually one of my mind maps that I did. It's very similar to the same format that Emily was just showing you, but it's just fleshing out more of those ideas, specifically for broader impact. But as you can see, I included some of the pillars in here. So for each of the different experiences that I did, I then fleshed out how those specific experiences, like what I gained and how I impacted different people. And within those different impacts, breaking apart the different pillars and why exactly those experiences were valuable as well. So this is pretty close to Emily's though, but you have similar things to what you all have listed on the Jamboard, which a lot of them are like mentorship or truly just spreading information about things that are important to you and letting other people know about them as well. So you can talk about how, if you have experience in mentorship, you can talk about how you train people in the lab, how you, if you work specifically with freshmen, I think someone talked about how that impacted them and what exactly what skills you were able to teach them and why those skills were important. But yeah, I just want to go through this super quickly, and then we can go back to Emily's thing too. Or should we just go to the
So I think, Lexi, can you go on to the next slide? So we wanted to give you all time to work on your mind map for this. So you can do either two things here. You can go back to that Jamboard link and starting on slide 3 to 11, you can use that to start your own, like maybe your first draft of a mind map. You can have multiple drafts of it. That's actually a great thing to do. So if you would like, you can use the Jamboard as your first draft and put your mission statement in the middle and do kind of the little mind map that I had shown you. Or just go ahead and use your own media, you know, pen and paper, Google Drawings, the iPad one. I always forget the name, so sorry. But we'll take until 4:50, and you can start working on building your own mind map for broader impacts. So yeah, so as you do this, think about your mission statement. That is a very important thing, especially for impacts. Think about how to set this, how to use these to set the stage for what you want to do. What is the broader thing that you want to do with your degree, in your career? Why are you going to grad school? And of course, use color, bold stuff, make it yours, have fun with it. This is not meant to be a stressful thing. This is a way to brain dump, get your thoughts down, and then you can organize it and just have fun with it. So feel free to ask us any questions. You can pop them in the chat, send us a message. We can open a breakout room. You can unmute if you would like. But yeah, we'll come back at around 4:50. Have fun.
will take some time to do. Thank you. But yeah, so again, it just takes time, and just having that, being able to get feedback from both Emily and I while we're still here is also really good. Because tomorrow, we're gonna start storyboarding and drafting it. So keep working on those mind maps.
I think it's so funny when we say while we're still here, it sounds like we're dying or something.
Yeah,
We're
I
not
swear,
dying,
it's like silly mess.
okay? But yeah, so yeah, still again, keep in mind, start getting those Zoom meetings, get those emails out, ASAP. Those are gonna be the biggest things. We're working on a lot of things right now, so I understand it feels overwhelming. Don't worry, your main priority should be these emails. Above all else, email, email, email. You can work on the rest of it with us, rewatch the recordings, go through the slides again. But definitely work on those emails. If you want help with anything at all, we have our. Oh my god, I did that earlier too. Trying to put something in the chat. There we go. We have our appointment schedules there linked. Use it. Schedule appointments with us. My availability for the next week is kind of bad, but after that, I'll be all good. And then Lexi has hers as well. So utilize the time with us. You're not bothering us. Please help us. It's our job. Or please ask us for help. It's our job.
And then, yeah, so this is another reminder. We have our suggestion of a timeline here. This is also available on Canvas, but you all should have your own and mapped out in a certain way, so then you know all of the different parts that you have to do for each of these products. This is again a very, very, very brief overview of the different products, but a lot of these have many, many different sections that you will have to work on. So please have your own timeline. If you need feedback, if you want to ask us questions, if you want to see the ones that Emily and I created, you'll have seen them before, but we can absolutely show you again and help you craft your own. But yeah. So we have examples of our own on the timeline slides that we did for previous GAP walkthrough sessions. But we can also make a screenshot of this so you all can have easy access to the summary timeline. Is that something you all would want? Just to have like a constant reminder. Okay, cool. We can do that. So we will take a screenshot of this and then we will put it probably in the Writing Fellows Resources section. So it'll be there.
We covered timelines as like the entirety of the meeting on week 2, day 1, just like for reference. So if you go into the Google Drive folder, into the slides and the recording, that will be there. So you can review that as well. It's also on Canvas in the GAP page. Sorry, just put the Google Drive folder in the link as well for you. Next meeting, we are going to review again a little bit more on the broader impacts, and then we're going to work on the next stage of pre-writing, which is called storyboarding, and getting into starting to draft those broader impacts. We know that this is really, really accelerated. Don't worry, get what you can done for now. Just be thinking about these at least. Tomorrow, we'll just flesh out the ideas. You just get started on it. You can come back to it. But it's really just to kind of show you what we know. So then those pieces are in place. So after you get the emails out, after all of that, you are ready to hit the ground running. And this will help you more in the long run. It's just because we have a limited time with you all. We want to make sure you get all the information you can from us.
Resources like always, again, the virtual office hours for National Science Foundation are just right sessions. We have one tomorrow from 3 to 4. And then again, all the materials that we have for slides, general other resources are all in our drive and also on our Canvas. just gonna go through this one really quickly. We have class tomorrow. Surprise. I hope you all knew that. It'll be the exact same time tomorrow instead of Thursday. If that time doesn't work, come to our Just Right so we can help give feedback. Yeah. Oh, I should probably do this one too. This is also tomorrow. This is at 11 to 12. It's gonna be right after the professional development class. It's led by Jessica and Eric. I have the QR code for the MyRaft information. If you scan that QR code, it should take you directly to MyRaft where you can find Zoom link, sign up for all the things. I will probably update it after the event happens with more information, probably the slides. This information is also found on the Canvas. It has the Zoom link. I will also put slides there and the recording as well. If you have any questions about the conference, any of the applications, please come. I hope to answer all the questions.
Just really quick, those are on the, if you go to the Writing Fellows module on Canvas, go to the resources page. That's where you'll find all SACNAS stuff. And then on that same module, the Writing Fellows module, there's a GAP fold or GAP page. That's where you find all information for GAP. And our
Oh,
appointment links are also on the Meet the Fellows page, all the way at the bottom. But you can also just send us an email if you can't find anything.
I think Emily and I will also send out a reminder tomorrow morning about both the SACNAS info session and also that we have GAP class tomorrow. So if you forget, don't worry. Yeah. Okay. That's it from us today. We give you 1 minute back of your time. Thank you so much for coming today. We know we're going through this super fast, but again, we just want to get as much information to you all, make it as easy as possible. If you need feedback, let us know. See you all tomorrow. Of course, thank you all for coming.